It is 16:36 Central African time. Let's give you another look at those stories leading this bulletin. Gauteng Department of Education investigating the circumstances surrounding the resignation of a former principal accused of engaging in sexual acts with learners at a high school in the East Rand. The Democratic Alliance in Gauteng has opened a missing persons case for 62 live Esidimeni patients whose whereabouts are still unknown. And the drought in the Eastern Cape intensifies with dam levels that supply drinking water to the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro and the Guga region standing at an all-time low average of 26%. President Donald Trump has written a letter to the African Union expressing compliments to all the African heads of states gathered in Ethiopia for the AU summit.
The letter comes after harsh remarks by President Trump earlier this month that led the African Union to demand for an apology. It says the U.S. president profoundly respects the partnerships and values shared by the U.S. and Africans, and that the president's commitment to strong relationships with African nations is firm. The African Union has condemned Trump's recent actions as being a reason to exclude Africa. The AU Commission chairperson Mahamat Faki Musa says, apart from his recent harsh remarks, the declaration by Trump that Jerusalem be the capital city of Israel and his decision to cut funding for peacekeeping missions all directly affect Africa. In his letter, U.S. President Trump says the U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is set to visit 4 to 6 African countries in March this year. The former South African President Thabo Mbeki has called on Africa not to be despondent because the Africa story is a good story.
If indeed the President Trump said those things, you know, I don't know what one says about that because it's so, it's also horrible to be saying things like, and it's strange that anybody who calls themselves president of any country would make statements of that kind. But I think we should be big enough to understand that, you know, you would have people like that. You would have people, even if they hold high positions in important countries like the United States, who say things that are not very intelligent. We shouldn't be so distracted about that because we know that we are not that thing which is said, this unpronounceable word. As Africans, we are not that. And let's I think, conduct ourselves with the necessary dignity and not be too disturbed.
The AU summit ends later today. Coletta Wanjohi, SABC News in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.